Good morning, students. After the introduction of different types of error, today we will discuss error in its mathematical form. How to use error in solving numericals. So first we are starting with absolute error. Absolute error. Basically what is it? Here this absolute error, it is the magnitude of difference between true value of the quantity and individual measured value. This is particularly called absolute error. So basically what we are discussing here, how we are taking it, absolute error is taken as the true value minus individually measured value. So what is here true value? True value, let me take a measurement of any quantity, let it be A. Let number of measurements have been done by different modes A1, A2, A3 up to AN. Like for different methods or in different experiments, let the measurements comes out to be N. So if N measurements have been done, so true value that can be taken as true or mean value, this will be obtained by taking arithmetic mean of all the measurements. Here, this mean value that will also be taken as the true value. You are familiar with the concept of mean or average. Now, here absolute error. If A1, A2, A3, AN are the measurements, so absolute error in the measurement of first value, this will be equal to A, let me denote it by AM. A mean for AM. This will be true value minus first measurement. Similarly, absolute error in the second measurement is true value minus second measurement. So in this way, for N measurements, we are calculating absolute error in all the measured value. See here, we have taken N measurements. It's not necessary that always infinite number of measurements are there. There can be any number of measurements. Like if you are performing an experiment of acceleration due to gravity in the lab and you are taking 6 observations or 4 observations. So that in that particular case, all the 4 values, here you will take the mean of all the 4 values and then you will find absolute error in each of the measured value. So this is the basic concept. Here basically this concept will be used in numericals. Now after absolute error, next term we have to understand, that is mean absolute error. Mean absolute error, as the term indicates, it means mean of all the individual absolute error in the measurements. Let me take it. How can we take that? Mean absolute error is taken as arithmetic mean of magnitude of absolute error in all the measurements. Here one thing you have to just note carefully, we have taken modulus sign. Modulus sign we have taken, it means if negative value, negative difference exists in any of these values, then in that case that negative sign will be dropped and you will treat only numerical value. So you have to just learn this formula also. So what does it mean? That means in any measurement, a physical quantity can be written as A mean or true value plus minus mean absolute error. Actually, this is a way how a measurement can be represented. What is the significance of writing plus minus? Actually, suppose we are taking the length of an object is measured to be 2 meter and the variation in the length can be 0.1 meter. It means its length can have maximum value 2.1 meter or minimum value 2 minus 0.1 meter. That means this is indicating its limits. So this kind of error exists in the measurement, that the value is 2 meter, but the minimum value can be, it is 2 minus 0.1. You can check it, you can solve it. Or when we are taking the positive error, positive absolute error. So 2 plus 0.1 meter. So this is the significance of writing this plus minus, that is this mean absolute error. So here in this chapter error, we will write every quantity in this term. Quantity plus minus absolute error in its measurements. Now after this absolute error and mean absolute error, next what we will learn here another term, that is relative or fractional error. Relative or fractional error. Basically relative error, it is defined as the ratio of mean absolute error. Mean absolute error to the mean value of the quantity. A mean or AM, you can write anything, you can write delta AM upon AM or delta A mean upon A mean. So basically it is taken as the ratio of mean absolute error to the mean or true value. Then the ratio of these two is giving you the relative or fractional error. You have to learn this as a formula. Now next is percentage error. You know the concept. While finding percentage, what you will do, you will multiply relative error by 100. So relative error expressed in percentage form, that means del A mean upon A mean multiplied by 100. So in this way you can calculate percentage error. So after introduction of absolute error, mean absolute error, relative error and percentage error, what conclusion, one important point we will just notice, that whenever we will discuss about accuracy of measurement in numericals, what is the accuracy in measurement of the physical quantity, that will be expressed either in terms of relative error or percentage error. You have to learn this point. This is important point. So accuracy of a measurement is expressed as relative error or percentage error. We will do it later on when numericals will be dealing on the basis of this concept. Let me take one numerical explaining the concept of all the above errors which we have covered today. See the statement, refractive index of water is found to have values. Here you can see these, how many values? 3, 4. 8 values have been given of different measurements with a slight variation in all these values. That is given as an observation. We can't do anything with the values. Now, calculate mean value, absolute error, relative error and percentage error. It means what we have learned in the form of formulas. Here in this numericals, we will apply all the concepts. So now, as per the statement, what values we have been given to us, that has been given to be 1.29 plus 1.33 plus 1.34 plus 1.35 plus 1.32 plus 1.36 plus 1.30 and one more is there, 1.33. So all these 8 measurements have been given. Now what you have to do to find mean refractive index, you will take the sum of these and divide by 8. It means you are taking arithmetic mean of all these values. So when you will add all these and solve, I am directly writing the answer. You can just check the answer, tally the answer with it. This will come out to be 1.3275. So as the given observations are up to 2 decimal places, so we will also round it off, that is up to 1.33. We can leave it up to 4 places, but as measurement standard given measurement is in 2 decimal places, so we have to convert the result also up to 2 decimal place. We have to limit it up to 2 decimal place. So mean refractive index we have calculated. Now what was the second step they have asked? Absolute error. So now you have to find absolute error in each measurement. So we will write Yes, this is a symbol which I have used for refractive index. Actually, this is used in the senior classes. In the junior classes, you can use N symbol also, which you have used in class 10th. Now, what is this symbol? Basically, you know this U, you have to prolong it. Mu. This symbol is used, actually this symbol is used for refractive index. Or if you are not familiar with this concept, you are not comfortable, you can simply write N. It's your choice. Because N symbol you have used in class 10th, and in senior classes we use the mu symbol. Right? Now, so absolute error in each measurement, let it will be del mu 1. It will be equal to mean value minus 1.29. 1.33 minus 1.29. So this measurement is 0.04. First absolute error. Now in second measurement, the measurement value is 1.33. So you can see the error is only, absolute error is 0. In third measurement, this is 1.33. Now you can see third measurement is 1.34. So this is minus 0.01. Minus 0.01. So in the fourth measurement, this will be 1.33 minus 1.35. So here what will be the value? Minus 0.02. See here, this is negative coming in two measurements. Why? Because measure value is more than that of mean value. Similarly, now we will take mean absolute, this absolute error in the fifth measurement. This is 1.33 minus 1.32. Again, the difference, it will come out to be 0.01. In the sixth measurement, it is 1.33 minus 1.36. So it will be again negative, minus 0.03. In the seventh measurement, it is 1.33 minus 1.30. This is 0.03. And in the eighth measurement, 1.33 minus 1.33, this is 0. So here you can see we have calculated absolute error in each individual measurement. So now, after calculating absolute error, what we have to find? We have to find relative error. See, in this question, mean absolute error has not been asked, but we cannot leave it because in relative error, we require mean absolute error. So, how to calculate mean absolute error? Mean absolute error is the sum of magnitude of all the absolute error divided by the number of measurement. It means mean of magnitude of all the absolute error. So you will take here the values. This will be 0.04 plus 0.00 plus, this is again, you can see if you will take its magnitude, I am simply writing it so that you will not get confused. I am writing it in the modulus along with negative sign. Or this step is optional, you can leave if you have clarity of concept. So I have written all the absolute error. Now, in the next step, you can drop the negative sign. 0.04 plus 0 plus 0.01 plus 0.02 plus 0.01 plus 0.03, again 0.03 plus 0. You must tally the result later on. So when you will add these values, it will come out to be 0.14. We'll add these values, it will be 0.14. You must tally the result. So divide by 8, it will comes out to be 0.0175. Again, when you will round it off, it will be 0.02 because our measurement is restricted up to 2 decimal places. So by this way, you have calculated mean absolute error. Now, what is asked? Relative or fractional error. Relative error is the ratio of mean absolute error to the mean value. Here it's not necessary that always mu m to be written. You can write it as mu or mu m also. It will not make any difference. This is only symbolic representation. So here when you are substituting the values of mean absolute error and true value, now when you will solve it, it will come out to be, this will be 0.015, and again you can write it as 0.02 by rounding it off. So this is the relative error. And now percentage error. Percentage error, when you have to calculate, then it will be, this is 0.015 into 100. So when you will solve it, this will come out to be 1.5%. So here you can see this relative error, this is 0.02 or 0.015, and the percentage error is exactly, we have taken it as 0.015 into 100 because to get exact percentage error. So it comes out to be 1.5. See here, we have not placed plus minus sign here. Actually the plus minus signs simply indicate the variation on both the sides, extreme sides. So when you are using this relative error, percentage error, then you can calculate the percentage error on the extreme side. So that's why plus minus sign can be used, plus and minus sign. So in this numerical, let me just revise the concepts, because this is a numerical, all the very simple numericals. First of all, for all the measurements, you are taking the mean by adding and dividing by number of measurements. Then absolute error in each measurement by subtracting mean measurement and the individual measurement. Then you have to take arithmetic mean of all the absolute error by taking only their magnitudes, dropping the negative sign. Then relative error as ratio of mean absolute error to the mean value, and then the percentage error. So on this basis, you have to do these two numericals for practice on the basis of the concepts we have covered in the numerical, and 1 or 2 numericals from NCERT book. If you have NCERT book, then you can do these questions. Otherwise, do the questions which I have given to you. Now, next we are dealing with combination of error. This is also an important concept which will be used in numericals. Basically, what we are studying here we will see that as every physical quantity can be expressed as that quantity plus minus absolute error. But when we are adding, subtracting, multiplying and divide, that means we are taking the combination of the quantities by any of the physical formula, then what will be the impact on the error in those measurements? So to understand it, let me take them that particularly the combination like in the form of sum, difference, multiplication and division. So here we will not derive those results. We will simply take the results because derivation is not significant here. We have to memorize, we have to learn the relations. So first point which we are taking here is error in sum of two quantities. Obviously we are adding two quantities of same kind. So we are taking let a physical quantity A. Now, as we have studied the concept of absolute error or mean absolute error, so quantity can be expressed A plus minus absolute error in A. Obviously, the permissible limits on both the sides of A, that's why we are expressed it like this. And B is given by B plus minus del B. So, if we are taking sum, then when we are representing the sum by Z, so it will be A plus B. So individual measurements, these will be adding directly. And if we have to find absolute error in the sum, then what will we do? We will take simply absolute error in A and absolute error in B and their sum. This is the main important result which you have to learn. What is the result is that the maximum possible error in the sum of two physical quantities is equal to sum of absolute error. These are the absolute error. Sum of absolute error in individual quantities. So in simple form, you can say that if you have to find error in measurement of sum of any two physical quantities, then what you have to do, you have to simply add the absolute errors of the quantities. To understand it, let me take one numerical. Now see, to understand the concept I have discussed, two resistors R1 and R2 are connected in series. What is their equivalent resistance with error limits? It means for series combination of resistors, you have to find equivalent resistance but with error limits. That means you have to find the error in the series combination also. So as per the statement, R1 is given to be 100 plus minus 3 ohm. R2 is given to be 200 plus minus 4 ohm. Now, for series combination, what is the formula? Sum of individual resistances. See, you are familiar with this concept in class 10th. So now, first of all, you will find the series combination resistance. So it will be 100 plus 200. So it will give you 300 ohm. Now, the main concept which we are learning here, that absolute error in series combination, it will be obtained by adding absolute error in each of the resistance. See, absolute error in R1 is 3 and that in R2 is 4. So it will be 3 plus 4. It will be 7 ohm. So how can you represent RS plus minus del RS? That means final equivalent resistance, it can be expressed as 300 plus minus 7 ohm. So this will be the final answer. So now next combination of error is error in difference of two quantities. So here also let the first quantity is A, expressed as A plus minus del A. And second quantity is expressed as B plus minus del B. So now, as we have to find difference of the quantities, so Z difference will be A minus B. Now, you have to find absolute error in the difference. This is the main point you must understand. Actually, you will not understand it directly because we have to learn the result directly. We are excluding the derivation part of these results because that will not be asked anywhere. So directly you have to learn. What you have to learn, actually what seems to be, you find it that it should be del A minus del B, but it is not there like this. What should be? Here it will be del A plus del B. Yes, the sum of absolute error in individual terms. So this is the main result that you have to learn. This sometimes you may get confused that if this is the difference, why not the difference we are taking? But you have to learn this, whether sum of the quantity or difference of the quantity, but absolute error will always be added. So what is the result? That the maximum error in the difference of two quantities equal to sum of absolute error in individual quantities. You must learn. See, in the above result, when you are taking sum, in that particular case, this was sum of two absolute errors, that is obviously in the individual quantities. Here, when you are taking difference, in this case also the absolute error will be equal to sum of absolute error in individual terms. Now let me do one numerical to get it. Now see what is given in the statement. The initial and final temperature of water bath are given to be 18 plus minus 0.5 degrees Celsius. And final is 40 plus minus 0.3 degrees Celsius. What is the rise in temperature of bath? Or you are not understanding with the water bath, you can simply say that a body has initial temperature this one, final temperature this one. So what will be the change in temperature? What will be the rise in temperature? So what is the concept here? When you have to find rise of temperature, change in temperature, then automatically you are talking about the difference of temperatures. So as per the statement, initial temperature is given to be 18 plus minus 0.5 degrees Celsius. final temperature is given to be 40 plus minus 0.3 degrees Celsius. So what will be the rise of temperature? It will be theta 2 minus theta 1. So it will be 40 minus 18. Yes, first of all we are simply subtracting the main values. So it will come out to be 22 degrees Celsius. Now the main concept which is new, then you have to find absolute error in the rise of temperature. So it will be del theta 2 plus del theta 1, or you can replace the order del theta 1 plus del theta 2. It will not make any difference. So now absolute error in second temperature, that is final temperature, is 0.3 and in the first temperature is 0.5. So the result is 0.8 degree Celsius. So what is the rise of temperature? How can you represent it as theta plus minus del theta? That is 22 plus minus 0.8 degree Celsius. So actually this is the rise of temperature we have calculated by using the concept of error in difference of two quantities. Now next we have to study combination or as the product. So here we will find error in product of two quantities. So again for the same quantities A, that is A plus minus del A, and B plus minus del B. Now if we are taking the product A into B, so here is a new concept which we have to learn, that is instead of directly calculating absolute error, here we have to find relative error. This is important point which you have to learn. See, in product there is no direct concept of absolute error. We have to first find relative error, then only we can calculate absolute error. So how to calculate relative error? This is also the concept. In this product, what you will write, you have to learn this. See it carefully. First of all, first term is A. So relative error in A plus relative error in B. This is the result. Del Z upon Z equal to del A upon A plus del B upon B. So what is the rule for it? That means the maximum fractional error or relative error in the product of two quantities is equal to sum of fractional error in individual quantities. I am repeating that what we are taking, the fractional error in the product of two quantities is equal to sum of fractional error in individual quantities. So if we want to find the value of absolute error, there can be the question, so how can we calculate absolute error? So what you will do, you will simply multiply Z here. In the numericals it will be used. Otherwise directly we have to learn this rule. In the notes you will find I have written the rule for it. See, here we will use the concept of product in this numerical. So what is the statement? If length and breadth of rectangle are given to be 10 plus minus 0.1 centimeter and 5 plus minus 0.1 centimeter. So find the area of rectangle with error limits. See, what is the area of rectangle? Yes, this is length into breadth. So now area A is equal to L into B. So here we have just taken here capital B in the statement, so take the same thing. Actually it should be capital L. So in both ways you are taking the same symbol, either capital LB or small lb, what is given here. Now here, so first of all what you will do, you will find the value. Length is 10, breadth is 5. So area it will be 50 centimeter square. Now to find error limits, what you will do? Relative error. Del A upon A equal to del L upon L plus del B upon B. So this is fractional error in the measurement of A. See here, what is the del L value? That is the absolute error in measurement of length. See in the statement, it is 0.1 centimeter and the main value is 10. And absolute error in value B will be 0.1 and the mean value is 5. So here you will put the value in fractional error. So here del L is 0.1 upon 10, del PB 0.1 upon 5. Substituted the values. Now this is the simplification, 1 upon 100 plus 1 upon 50. Taking its LCM, 1 plus 2, it is 3 by 100. So del A upon A is 3 by 100. But you have to find an area of rectangle with error limits. That means you require delta A. So what you will do? Del A will be equal to A into 3 by 100. And area we have calculated, it is 50 centimeters square. So put the value here, 50 into 3 by 100. This is cancelled, so it is 3 by 2. It means 1.5 centimeters square. So now this way you can understand this concept. So here we have calculated area. To calculate absolute error in area, first of all you have to take relative error in A, and then just by solving this and multiplying A on the right hand side, you are getting absolute error in A. So now here A plus minus del A is given to be 50 plus minus 1.5 centimeter square. So students, today we have introduced the concept of absolute error, relative error, percentage error, and studied error in addition, subtraction and product of any two quantities. So on this basis, I hope you have got all the concepts how to apply these results in solving numericals. So I suggest you all to just do practice by just given written practice of all the numericals and concepts which I have covered today. I have given 2 practice numericals also, so solve that also. That was on the initial concept. So tomorrow we'll continue with the same topic with more numericals. So keep practice the concepts. Thank you. Have a nice day.